All right. Welcome back. Hope you guys had a great weekend. Here's a disclaimer. Trading stocks is risky. My results are not typical. Typical result of an average trader will be to lose money. There's no guarantees that watching my content will improve your trading. With that being said, we are red today, past max loss, and we did snowball. Um, we are down just over 2,000 on the day. Um, we had a technical issue with DOS Trader for execution that occurred right here, right when we crossed $500. That's this big drawdown from $100 in the red to 700. That was a DOS Trader issue, and from there I upped my risk to try and make it back. And from there, that you know what happens. I mean, when you have a set plan for how you want the day to go, you're risking a small amount, you're keeping yourself controlled, and all of a sudden something out of your control happens, and you're suddenly down $700 in the day. But you felt like you were doing okay, and all of a sudden you're just down, like near max loss, and it's very frustrating. And you can go one of two ways. You can either take a step back and regroup, maybe even step out of the room, get a drink of water, maybe get a breath of fresh air, come back 5 minutes later, and um, just approach it the same way you were before that loss happened. Keep with the small risk, or you could do what I did today, which was double down and say, hey, you know what? That happened, but I was doing good, so let me up the size, and um, in a few trades I'll be back to where I was. And obviously that's not how it goes. You take another loss, you're down 1,000, and then they're like, okay, well now I'm down 1,000, but I still feel like the day is still hasn't gone. It's still the day is still young, so let me try and up my size again. And now you're down 1,600. You're like, okay, well, let me get back to down 1,000. I don't want to have a $2,000 red day. You take one more trade, and you're down 2,200. I mean, it can happen so fast. So let's go over the footage of what happened on the day. So let's go here. Starting off the day with a few small red trades on 800 shares. This is how I want to start the day. I want to start with low size. I'm not taking 4,000 shares right away. I'm taking 800. Starter size, feeling out the day, feeling how the stock moves. Um, wasn't working out on that one. I see TMC squeezing up. High day pre-market was 168. So I'm looking at this, see if it wants to squeeze. I don't watch it just yet. And then, let's see. Huh. Okay, so we get this pop that I miss at 160. Then at 164, there's a big seller on the ask. And I'm watching it as it comes back up to that big seller because 168 is pre-market highs. So I'm thinking break of 164 up to 168. So I'm watching. I'm in at here. Still 800 shares. Because I'm still right on the day. Small amount. Still testing out the stock. To be honest, probably should use a little bit more size. Maybe like 1,600 if I'm still testing out the stock. Yeah, 800 seems a little low. Um, just because it is a nice trade. I mean, break of 68 is most likely gonna happen. So there I go, 1,600 there at 65, taking it out at 64, back in 65, Taking it out as we saw that big seller at 64. So small red trades on this. Watching 65 break back in at 65. Watching 66 for break of 68. Can we break 66? There we go. Taking half off, right? No? Oh. Okay, looks like there I actually... One sec, let's go back here. What's going on here? So here, it looks like I actually doubled down on the position for the break of 68 because it looks very strong. So as 68 is breaking on the ask, I throw out another order to double the position. I even add another 800 shares on top of that to go to full size at 68. Watching 69. 69 doesn't break, and so I am taking off half at 68 and the rest out at 67. And that ends up going, which is pretty unfortunate. So watching that back in full speed, adding, taking off alpha as 68 doesn't break, and then 68 does break. Big seller at 672. Watching that seller at 72, see if that wants to break. Looks like it's starting to break. There's green on the tape. Watching it, adding. There we go. In 4,000 at 71. Watching 73. Taking it off at 72. Back in at 68. Watching 69. Not getting it out. Getting it out at 67 and 68. So break even trade there. Take another small scalp here for a small loss at 63. And taking a dip buy here at 59, out at 60. That's pretty much it on this one for now. Then, let's see, take a couple more stabs here by VWAP. They end up going red. I'm down 80 bucks on the day at this point, which isn't bad. I'm just not hitting pretty much. My win rate so far is like maybe like 30-40%. Not that good. It's not that bad. Keeping the risk in check, only down 80. Not bad. Then we have, let's see. I take one more trade on GNS here. This one brings me back to break even on the day. I took it as it broke 45, and then taking it off at 46 and 47. So back to break even on the day. And then I took a couple losses here on GNS and FRGT, just a couple small losses. FRGT, this one I jumped in as it was trying to break view up. Jumped in there at 4,000 at 77. And then the spread opened up to 75 out of nowhere. So I was trying to see where I could get out because I can't get out right now, otherwise I get filled at 75. And then that'll be an $80 loss. So there's 76 for a moment. 77 has a big bid, or a big ass now. It's dipping down to 74. At this point, it's looking sketchy. I shouldn't be in anymore. So at that point, let's see, 43.24, 3 seconds ago. I shouldn't have been in anymore. So let's see how long it takes me to get out from that point. Takes me. So I should already been out 10 seconds ago. But that's 20 seconds now. At this point, I guess I'm hoping for 77 to show back up. But realistically, I'm already getting an exit at 76. Just take the 1 cent loss and be lucky that you didn't have to take a 4 cent loss, you know? I end up getting out here at 75 probably as it breaks down. No? Wow. Looks like I was really hoping then. Not a good trade. Let's see, when do I get out? Probably at 74 breaks. Okay. Wow. What is this? This one's a break-even trade. Okay. So, I'm I'm down 200 on the day at this point. It's not a bad red day, it's just a mediocre one. I missed the TSHA halt up at the open, so I'm watching this on resumption here. And on resumption, I am looking for the break of 64. I see 62, I see 58 on this dip. I tried getting in, got filled pretty high at 61. And I took that off. Okay, here's the where the problem happened. Let's go back for a second. Oh. Okay, so this is what screwed over my day and what set off my motions here. Basically, we have the resumption here. It resumes flat. And I get in at 61, which is a little bit high. And I get out instantly as I see it coming down to 55. I get out, but here I double tapped my sell hotkey. My sell hotkey is a sell 100% of my position at market. So sell the full position at market. That's what the hotkey says, and that's what it does. However, what the actual hotkey does in the background is it takes my current position size. So I was in 2,400 shares, and it instead of working like a flatten button, where a flatten will close your position no matter what side you're on. My hotkey, what it was doing was it was saying, we're gonna close your position by using the amount of shares that you're in. So it took 2,400 shares as the share size for the order that I sent out, and it was a sell order. But it didn't specify if it was a sell to open or sell to close. And so what ended up happening is I accidentally double clicked my sell button, and before the first one had fully executed to close out my position, the second order had already been sent, and that second order also contained a sell order for 2,400 shares. And so what ended up happening was I ended up going short 2,400 shares at 57 here. And obviously I didn't know this happened because there's no sound that I got filled, because all I heard was the sound of my first order getting filled. Because it happened at the exact same time pretty much. I didn't hear two beeps. So I ended up going short. So I take an initial $100 loss from that first trade, which I was fine with, but then I end up getting short, and I don't know I'm short right now. I'm not looking over here. I'm still looking at the level 2. So I don't even see that I'm red here, that this is all short, and I'm currently in a short position. I don't see that. I don't even have hotkeys available to close a short position, like with buy hotkeys. I don't have that. So what ends up happening, I mean, all my hotkeys are for long biased trading. I have hotkeys to buy certain quantities, and I have hotkeys to sell certain percentages of my position. I don't have hotkeys to buy certain percentages of my position. I just don't. I'm not short biased. And so, if I want to flatten this position, I'd probably have to come over here and hit this flatten button. But I'm not looking over here. I'm not looking over here. I'm looking right here. because I'm looking for the next trade. I'm looking for, okay, well, we're kind of holding up 55, 60. I'm looking for this candle to reverse, go green, and then buying as it breaks 70 for the halt up at 77. So as this next move happens, I don't know I'm in. I literally have no clue I'm in. And it goes, breaks 75, or breaks 70 up to 75, 77 is the halt up. I'm looking for a micro pullback to get in. I see micro pullback right here. I'm hitting the buy button for buying 2,400 shares. And look what happens. Oh, there's the order. Buying 2,400 shares at 73, right? Because I'm like, okay, let me get in. I'm going to get into the halt up right here. There's a micro pullback. And guess what ends up happening? I'm in. I think I'm in, right? And then I'm like looking, I'm like, okay, wait, did my order not go through? What's going on? I thought I definitely hit the buy button. And I'm seeing I'm not in. So I'm like, wait. So first of all, the first thing I noticed was I wasn't in, but I definitely hit the buy button. Next thing I noticed, I'm down $530 on this stock. I was like, where the hell did that happen? Okay, so now it's going into the halt up, but I'm trying to figure out why I'm down 500 on it. So I go over here, I'm like, I go over to my trade tab, and I'm like, okay, let's see what just happened. And I go over here, and I'm like, wait. I sold a position to close it, and at the same time sold a position to open. So short. And I took a 16-cent loss on 24,000 shares, or 2,400 shares. When I should be in right now for this next halt up. So I not only did I take a $400 loss right here, but I also should be in, and I should be up $100 going into the halt. So it was like a double negative because that buying into the halt, I mean, thank God I put that order out. Otherwise, I'd be inside the halt short. Because think about it. I probably wouldn't have noticed I was short until the halt happened. Because I wasn't looking over there. I legitimately probably would have held into the halt short. And I'd been like, oh my God, I'm short. So thank God I actually looked for a buy position going into the halt. But yeah, here's where I'm figuring it out. I'm suddenly down $700. And not only am I down, but I missed the good opportunity to get up on the day. So I'm coming back and I'm trying to figure out what's going on. And honestly, this really screwed with my emotions for the rest of the day. I took a couple more stabs with smaller size on TSHA on the resumption. If I go over here, ECIG, I took a $7 loss, nothing big. On the resumption here, I'm looking for something. Getting in there at 70 holds. It's not holding, getting out for a break even. Taking a couple more smaller losses throughout that move. Let's see, nothing big happens here. Nothing big. And then don't know where. Let's see. 1009. Taking 4,000 shares here on RGTI. This one's moving very slow. So yeah, I was trading garbage. I mean, RGTI is not moving that much, but I was trading it. And it ends up flushing 3 cents on me. Just like that. Down another 120. I think this is where I start to spiral once I get close to 1,000 on the day. TSHA resumes at 10:11. Let's watch this. At 10:11, I take a trade. Yeah, in here, 4,000 shares. Oh my god. Yeah. This is how you can tell I'm starting to be desperate. What ends up happening is we get this nice trade. We nail a nice entry at 158, and it goes up to 160, 161, and I'm adding another 4,000 shares instead of just taking the original position off for a 1 or 2 cent winner, 2 to 3 cent winner, adding to the position, and now I'm in 8,000 shares, hoping for the break of 60 instead of just taking my 2 cents and leaving. Because now, this trade, when it rolls over, it's going to be a bigger red loss. So when I have to sell at 56. If it ends up working, great. I get a nice $200 winner. Gives a nice little chip in the P&L back to green, but they rarely tend to work when you're emotionally sizing up. So I take it off at 56. The reason I took it off at 56 is because I realized I was being stupid. But I'm sitting down 1100 and I realize I'm starting to act stupidly, but I don't stop and basically just start to spiral out of control again. Um, yeah, the rest of the day is just spent sizing aggressively on TSHA, 8,000 shares, and I think I have, yes, 16,000 shares at one point. Did this trade work? Nope, this was a big loss. Right here. So 16,000 shares, taking it off at 50 and 47 for 380 bucks. And one final nail in the coffin was right here at the end on ACHR, taking 8,000 shares of this. Should have been taking it off at 37 and 36. And having to take it off at 33, I think, or 32. Anyway, this was the final trade of the day. Yeah, I took it off at 32. Basically, I let a platform issue emotionally compromise me into. Yeah, look here. Look at this. This is so stupid. I maxed out my buying power on this trade. I meant 48,000 or $50,000 in this trade. And I'm trying to add more. Like, that's how stupid I'm acting right now. Like, look at that. Look at those notifications. I tried doubling my position or adding 4,000 shares. And it was like, okay, 4,000 didn't work. Let me add 2,000, 1,000. Let me get an ad. I gotta add. It's so stupid. Because I was thinking, oh, let me add down here at 34. Maybe it comes back up to 36. I can sell break even. But there's no reason behind that. Comes back down at 32. Taking it off at 32 because I don't want to have this go lower. That's where I call it on the day, and then what's it called? Yeah, so I let my emotional compromise from the DOS error um, dictate how I traded today and the share size I used. And today was a day where I was already not really clicking in the first 10 minutes before the platform issue. I was still down 200, 300 before the platform issue. And so It's not like I was having a good green day and all of a sudden I had this issue and it triggered me and I was like, oh, I was green and now I'm red. It wasn't like that. I was already having a mad day. And then the platform issue came, but I felt like I was still in control when I clearly was not. Um, and if there's one thing I need to fix in order to cross this next step of profitability, it's definitely controlling the size of my red days. Um, all the other profitable traders I know, their red days are minuscule compared to their green days. They'll have like, and the number of red days they have is also so small. I feel like I'm red, green, red, green, red, green half the time. And the red days are just as big as the green days. So it sucks. Feels like I'm just break even. Where the profitable traders they're having 4, 5, 10, 15 green days in a row and then having one red day and they're frustrated about losing 5% of what they just made over the last 3 weeks. But I mean, here I am sitting red, green, red, green, red, green, and I mean, there's got to be something I can do to control these red days. I think what I might do is I might cap myself at like 500, 600 or something like that. And then trade with small size until I can get a nice like $100, $200 cushion and then start expanding on my share size on the day. I think that's what I might have to do. Like trade with 800 to 1600 shares until I get up $100 and then I can unlock the full size trading. And if I never hit up $100 on the day, maybe I never unlocked the full size trading. Therefore, the small red days would be smaller. The red days would be smaller because I wouldn't be trading on full size. So maybe that's what I'll have to implement going forward. But I definitely need to control the red days, and I definitely have to have fewer of them. I think it's insane how many red days I have compared to other people. Um, I have like 6 to 8 a month, and it didn't used to be like this. When I was first becoming profitable back in November of last year, in the first 4 months of profitability, I had like 4 red days a month, which is great. That's what I'm aiming for every single month. 4 red days a month. And I'm already at 4 red days this month. I'm already at 4 red days, and they're all pretty big. And the month is only halfway over. So I'm on track to hit 8 red days, which is just terrible. If you have 8, I mean, each month on average has about 20 to 21 trading days. 21 trading days on average. And if 8 of them are red, that means you have 13 green days. And not only that, but your red days are the same size as your green days. That means you only have 5 green days worth of profit on each month. 13 minus 8. But if I have 4 red days and there's 21 green, or there's 21 days in the month, that's 17 green days. So even if the red days are still just as big as the green days, that's still 13 days of profit. 17 minus 4 for the month. And if I can even make that where the red days are half the size of the green days, then that's, let's see, 15 green days of total profit on the month, which is great. That's almost the entire month. So ultimately, what I need to work on is emotional composure early on in the day. Um, I think what will be beneficial for that is not sizing up until I'm green on the day by like at least $50 to $100. And then, yeah, I'm great at pushing green days. I had no problem with sizing up and getting aggressive on days where I'm up 2,000, but I do have problems with sizing up when I am down 500. So that's something we have to do going forward, is cut these red days down in number and in size. Oh, and before I forget, the way that I fixed my hotkey for DOS, let me go ahead and open it up. The way that I fixed my hotkey was I went to hotkeys, let's see. Um, doesn't show any account. Okay. So the way I went to fix it was on my cell hotkeys, right? This only said sell here. I didn't know that DOS had something where you could have it sell to close, which is sell close here. Basically, I changed all my hotkeys to sell close instead of sell, and that should fix the issue. So I'll never again double click the sell button and go short. So at least, I mean, it may have cost me 500, technically it cost me 2,000 today to learn that lesson, but it'll never happen again where I go short accidentally on a trade. So yeah, sell close is definitely the way to go when you're using flattened position hotkeys. That way you don't accidentally open a short position. So yeah, basically that's what I did, and have that on all my hotkeys now for selling. And that is it. All right. Take care, guys. I'll be back tomorrow with another recap, and hopefully we can do better at controlling those emotions. It's my biggest flaw as a trader, is my emotional composure. I have good strategy, I have good setups. I'm great at reading level 2. Um, my biggest flaws are just emotions. And yeah, I have a quick trigger, so I do get triggered very quickly. I realize that, and it's something I have to fix. So this is the journey. This is the path to profitability. So we'll see how I go about fixing it, and we'll go from there. All right, take care, guys. I'll be back tomorrow. Peace out.